Okay. Are you going to say something?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Grade 6 English First Additional Language. Friday. It is Friday today. I hope everybody's happy about that. And it is a long weekend. Teacher Fiona is going to take over from you guys now. I just want to let you guys know that I am available in the Q&A section. So if you guys have any questions or answers or anything like that, you're more than welcome to send me a message. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the STEM Lockdown Digital School and welcome to your Grade 6 First Additional Language lesson. Thank you for coming back. And my name is Fiona Beale and I am your Grade 6 teacher. I hope that you've been with me all along this week. We've been doing descriptions and information text on the topic of endangered animals. So we're going to do revision today. Okay, we're going to do some revision. And I'm just trying to make my power. There we go. Here we go. So today we're going to be doing all 4 of the categories: listening, speaking, reading, language, and writing. You're going to listen to 2 descriptions. And so let me just start off by saying we're going to do a revision lesson like a test. We're going to do a test that you mark yourselves, okay? So I'm going to give you bits and pieces of the test, and then I'm going to show you how to mark them, and you're going to mark them yourselves. So we'll start off with 2 descriptions that I'll read to you, and then you'll answer questions. Then we'll go over how a paragraph is constructed, and you'll answer questions. Then you'll write a description of an animal, endangered animal. You'll review various grammar concepts from the Speaks language lesson. You'll create some visual text and you'll label some visual text. So all those things will sound familiar because we've done them this week, but you'll be doing different ones today and just testing yourself. Okay, so as I said, we'll test something you've learned about each day this week and you'll mark your own work. So we'll start off with the descriptions. Okay, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to listen to 2 descriptions of endangered animals, and then I want you to provide 3 things about those animals. Their family category, like are they amphibians or mammals or reptiles or whatever. One reason why it's endangered and a guess at its name. Okay, so on your paper, in your book, just do this simple flow chart with these 2 words, animal 1 and animal 2. Okay. You got that? Good. So remember our story about the 4 children looking at these animals with their magic glasses? So in this picture, Caleb is talking about what he sees. He said, "Oh, I can see a mammal with a large, bulky body, a thick neck, very long, strong arms, short, bowed legs, and no tail. It's mostly covered with long, reddish-brown hair and grey-black skin. If you had to stroke it, you would feel thick, coarse fur. This animal spends most of its time in trees, and it loves eating fruit. It often gives a big, wide grin. It is sometimes called the great ape of Indonesia and Malaysia. It is critically endangered because of poaching, habitat destruction, and the illegal animal trade." So what do you think that animal is? Have you got your 3 points down? What what animal group it belongs to, one reason why it is endangered, and a guess at its name. All right, let's go on to our second description. Now it is Mandy talking, and she says, these animals are ground-dwelling, herbivore mammals that inhabit the forests of central sub-Saharan Africa. There are two species of this animal, the eastern type and the western type. Both are critically endangered. They are the largest living primates. A primate is a group that's got all the characteristics related to lemurs, monkeys, and apes. They love fruit and they spread seeds around wherever they go. Their diet consists of vines, leaves, stems, shoots, and roots. They are very social. Habitat loss has had a devastating effect on these herbivores. Finally, poaching has also dwindled their numbers. So what do you think that animal is? Could you guess? Take a guess and remember to write down your 3 points. Now, as we go along, you're going to have to keep a record of the marks that you get for each thing. Okay, so let's give you your answers. First of all, the first animal was an orangutan. Did you guess that one? And the second animal was a gorilla. Did you guess that one? Both of them critically endangered. It's strange to think that your grandchildren one day might say, oh, what was a gorilla? Because you don't get gorillas anymore and you don't get orangutans anymore. That's unless we do something about saving them. So, this is where you're going to mark your work. For animal 1, it was a mammal. And one of the answers for why it's endangered, mainly due to poaching, and also the wild animal trade likes to take these animals, maybe to China, I don't know where to, and it was an orangutan. The second one, you could have put mammal or you could have put primate. And the two reasons why it's endangered, habitat loss and poaching, and its name is a gorilla. So there we are, 6 marks for that. Write down how many marks you got for that one. And that was the first part of our test for today. Let's go on to the second part of our test. Now this is to do with paragraphs. Do you remember we learned about the way a paragraph is created? Every paragraph has a structure. So let's review that and then we'll ask you some questions. Now, do you remember that a paragraph usually has about 5 sentences, sometimes a bit more. It's got a topic sentence, which is the main sentence in the paragraph that summarizes the paragraph. And then the supporting sentences all refer to that. They just elaborate, they just tell more about that topic sentence. It's got a concluding sentence, and every paragraph has one main idea in the paragraph. Right, got it. So, for an example, I'll read this with me. In South Africa, we have 2 species of rhinos, the white rhino and the black rhino. These mammals are actually both grey in color. The rhino has a huge stocky body and a large head, a short neck and a broad chest. It has 2 horns on its snout. The black rhino has a curved upper lip and the white rhino a squared upper lip. Rhinos are endangered. So you could see that consists of around 5 sentences or so. It's got a topic sentence, which is the top sentence. The topic sentence doesn't have to be the top sentence. It can be one of the other sentences. But in this case, it's saying we've got two kinds of rhinos, the black and the white rhino, and the three or four supporting sentences are all to do with black and white rhino. Sorry that I've got a frog in my throat today, and it's got a concluding sentence. Do you see? Rhinos are endangered. This paragraph's got a main idea, and the main idea actually is that first sentence. There's two species of rhinos, the white rhino and the black rhino. You got the idea? You ready to do an activity? Good. So just to go over that again, there's the topic sentence that summarizes the whole paragraph. That's the main idea as well, that there's the two types of rhino. There's the concluding sentence, and the rest are all the supporting sentences. So here's our paragraph for today. So let's first read the paragraph. I'll read it with me aloud. It's got a heading, Describe an orangutan. An orangutan is sometimes called the great ape of Indonesia and Malaysia. It is a mammal with a large, bulky body, a thick neck, a very long, strong arms, short bird legs, and no tail. It is mostly covered with long, reddish-brown hair and grey-black skin. If you had to stroke it, you would feel thick, coarse fur. It spends most of their time in trees and loves eating fruit. It is critically endangered because of poaching. So, which of these numbers show the topic sentence is what I want to know. Which number shows the concluding sentence and which number shows the main idea? So I've numbered these sentences. We're going to call that first sentence, sentence 1. The green writing is number 2. The black writing is number 3. And the blue writing is number 4. So the question, which number shows the topic sentence? Just write down the number that you think shows the topic sentence. Which number shows the concluding sentence? And which number shows the main idea? Have you got those? Okay, so let's check your work. So you had to read the paragraph called Describe an Orangutan. Which number shows the topic sentence? Do you get number 2? It's number 2 because the heading is Describe an Orangutan. So whichever sentence describes the orangutan is the topic sentence. Which number shows the concluding sentence? Right, number 4. Number 4 shows the concluding sentence. It brings it to a nice conclusion. And which number shows the main idea? Well, the main idea is also number 2 because it's describing the orangutan. How did you do? Give yourself 3 marks if you got those right. Good. Now, did you keep a record of those marks? So far you've got 2 lots of marks in. Okay. Now, remember we spoke about writing a description. Do you remember that? And we said you have to give a clear picture of whatever you are describing so that your readers can form a mental picture. You've got to give plenty of detail, and you need to use as many of your senses as you can to write your description. What you can see, what you can hear, what you can taste, what you can smell, what you can touch. Sometimes we can only use 2 or 3 of our senses. Just depends on the animal. So, remember all that? So what I'd like us to do now is to write a description of an endangered animal and just choose from the 2 we heard about now, the gorilla or the orangutan. So what I want you to do is to write its name in a sentence. State what family it belongs to and say why it's endangered, then describe it and mention 3 body parts in your description. And remember, when you're describing, you use your 5 senses, what you can see, what you can hear. If you had to touch it or feel it, you won't be able to taste it, but it might have a smell. Those last 2 are quite difficult usually. Okay, let's give you a few minutes to do this, to write down, and then we'll mark it. Right, are you finished? Got its name, its family, why it's endangered, and you've described it. I wish I could actually read what you're saying. Sounds, I'm sure you've got it really well. Well, let's go on and mark what you've written. Okay, so you can see there's 10 marks. So, did you write its name? And did you write its family? Did you write why it's endangered? And you described it. So 1 mark for the name, 1 mark for the family it belongs to, 1 mark if you mention one thing that it's in, one reason why it's endangered. If you mention the 3 body parts in your description, 3 marks. And 4 marks if you mention 4 different, if you speak from the perspective of 4 senses. Something you saw, something you heard, something you touched or felt, something you taste, something you smell. Now you might not be able to have used 4, so then you'll only get 3 marks. Okay, so you're giving yourself 10 marks. Good. Okay, let's go on. Ready? Now, we did a whole lesson on language this week, so we're going to go over some of those with different questions this time. So remember we started off with alphabetical order, remember that. And we spoke about the fact that words are arranged in the dictionary according to their first letter. For example, apple, banana, carrot. Apple will go first because A is before B is before C. Right. And then when more than one word starts with the same two letters, you have to list the word according to the third letter. So claw, clever, climb. We have to go by the third letter, A, E, I. Remember all that? Good. And then when more than one word starts with the same three letters, you have to go according to the fourth letter. And so it goes on. So, actor, action, actress. So, the O, the I, and the R. All right, I think you remember all that. So let's do an activity. First of all, put these words into alphabetical order. Animal, angry, anteater, apple, ape. Okay, put those into the right order. Okay, let's mark that one. So first of all, well, three of the letters start with A, N. And so angry, then animal, then anteater. Then the next two letters have the P, ape, and apple. So if you got all five of those in the right order, it's 1 mark. Then you have to put these words into alphabetical order. Gorilla, goose, go, got, goat, good. What I mean is please put these words into alphabetical order. Right. You got them? Is check, go is first, then goat, then good, then goose, then gorilla, and then got. Good. Now, why did I give 3 marks for those? Well, let's say that for the first one, I'll give 2 marks, and for the second one, I'll give 1 mark, okay? So, mark yours, and let's go on. Do you remember we did the comparison of adjectives? And we talked about the 3 degrees, for example, young, younger, youngest. The positive degree was one thing, young. The comparative degree compares 2 things, and you usually add er, younger. The superlative degree compares more than 2 things and describes the best, and usually you add est. For today's lesson, we are just going to do this way of doing it, young with the and the est. Okay, remember that. Okay, and then I gave you a whole lot of words to compare. How's our time doing? Okay, so let's see if you can quickly get the comparative and superlative of these two. This exercise is worth 20 marks. So see if you can write those down. Oh, da da da, da da da. Okay, I'm doing it with you. I'm on number 5 now. I'm on number 8. Right. I'm on the last one. Okay, have you got those done? So as many as you've got done, let's check now. So we've got old, older, oldest, big, bigger, biggest, tall. So you're only marking the comparative and superlative sides. Tall, taller, tallest, lazy, lazier, laziest, happy, happier, happiest, low, lower, lowest, unhealthy, unhealthier, unhealthiest, simple, simpler, simplest, high, higher, highest, slow, slower, slowest. You got all those? 20 marks for those. Count up your marks quickly and keep a record of them. Okay, let's go on. We also talked about a or an in front of a word. Do you remember that? And a is usually pronounced eh. So in order to do this exercise, you need to know the 5 vowel sounds, A, E, I, O, U, and then the other 21 sounds that are consonants. And the reason for that is the A usually goes before a consonant. And we usually pronounce it a banana, a ship. An goes before a vowel sound. Apple, elephant, oven. Okay. So, write a or an in front of the following words. I just want you to fill in the column and write a or an. Okay. I'll do it with you. Okay, I'm on nurse. I'm on inspector. And I'm on the last one. Right, you got all your answers? You got all your answers? Let's mark them. So, a teacher, an artist, an engineer, a nurse, a doctor, an accountant, a president, an inspector, a cleaner, a miner. Got all those? Great. So those are 10 marks. Count your marks. Good, good. And then, of course, we did adverbs of time. So an adverb adds to a verb, and it adds to the meaning of the verb. So, for example, he walks slowly. If we just said he walks, he could be walking anyway, but if we said he walks slowly, it tells us how he walks. So that's not really an adverb of time, that's an adverb of manner, but it shows you how an adverb adds to the verb. Right. But there are different kinds of adverbs, and one of those is an adverb of time. Words like today, yesterday, daily, last week, next year, in the future, any words that answers the question when. So an adverb of time describes when or for how long or how often a certain action took place. So let's see if you can pick out the adverbs of time in these sentences. Right. I'll read them. We'll read them together and then you write down the adverb of time. The female rhino had a baby yesterday. Recent statistics show a drop in poaching. Which of those words is the adverb of time? Number 3, usually the rhinos drink at the waterhole over there. Which is the adverb of time? Number 4, the warden at the zoo goes to bed late after feeding the rhinos. Which is the time word there? Adverb of time. And number 5, I hope we can visit the Kruger Park next year. Which is the adverb of time? Okay, you got those? Let's mark. So the female rhino had a baby yesterday. Yesterday is the adverb of time. Recent statistics show a drop in poaching. Recent. Usually the rhinos drink at the waterhole over there. Usually. The warden at the zoo goes to bed late after feeding the rhinos. Late. And number 5, I hope we can visit the Kruger Park next year. Next year is the adverb of time. So, did you get all those right? If so, give yourself 5 marks. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so we want to quickly draw an endangered animal. Now, I just want a very rough drawing, okay? Just a very rough drawing. And let's see if you know what animal this is, this endangered animal. So, draw the face quickly. Let me try it as well. Draw the face. I like these drawing ones, actually. Mainly because I can't really draw, but if copying, it's a little bit easier. Right, have you got the face? Okay. Now add the body. So you're going to add the back. I'm sure you can tell which animal it is already, right? Okay, you got the lines of the body. Add the front leg. Add the second leg. Got that? Add the third leg. Add the fourth leg. And add that long tail. Finally, put spots all over. Know what endangered animal that is? We heard about it in the video on Monday. It is the Amur leopard. There's only a few left in the world, about 450 or something, 450 in the world. Give yourself 8 marks for that one. If you did your 8 stages. Good. Did you get that? Okay, now I want you to label your drawing. Okay, just that final drawing of yours, label it, and I'd like you to have at least 5 body parts that you label. So I've just put in my own examples, but you can choose any of your 5. Choose 5 body parts. So labeling is quite an important part of information text. Labeling is part of diagrams, labeling, captions, etc. Design text. Okay, let's check whether you've got 5 of the following. I've got small ears. I've just added an adjective to some of them. Eyes, spots, brown fur, long legs, padded paws, because it belongs to the cat family, a long tail, and strong body. But you could just have fur, spots, eyes, ears, body, tail, paws, legs. Right, you got that marked? So give yourself 5 marks for that. Okay. So, how did you do? So remember, we listened to descriptions. We did the paragraph activity. You wrote a description. You did alphabetical order, adjectives. We did a or an. We went over adverbs of time. We did a drawing. And we did some labeling. And altogether, 70 marks. So add yours up and then put it in the chat box, because afterwards I'll download the chat. I can't see it, unfortunately, at the moment, but I'll download it afterwards and see how you did. Now you can practice your maths and add it all up. Okay, I'm sure you did really well. Well done. So let's just go over what we've done again today to round off the week. We did a revision lesson of all the things we did this week. You listened to 2 descriptions and you answered questions. You reviewed the paragraph construction method and you answered questions. You wrote a description of an animal. You went over some of the grammar we've done this week. You created visual text by drawing your leopard. And you labeled your visual text. Those are all the things we had to do from the CAPS. So, well done, everybody. Well done. Now, I haven't given you any links for this week now because it's weekend, so I don't think you'll be looking up anything, but I would like to invite you to the next lesson on Tuesday, because Monday is a public holiday. So next week, Tuesday, we're starting with listening and speaking again. Listening and speaking lesson, and I'm really hoping that you will join me for that. See you there. Have a good weekend, and don't forget to follow us on social media if you do use social media, and bye-bye.